So a narcissist will do what they can get away with until you tell them no. In the case of Donald Trump as a martial narcissist, you have to tell him no with the First World Army because nobody's ever put a rogue national leader in check since World War II, right? So that's why they established the League of Nations, right? You're supposed to try to end World War III before it starts. You're supposed to care about the fate of the world. Well, a rogue national leader doesn't necessarily care about the fate of the world. They might push the nuclear button, right? And that will cause everyone else to push the nuclear button since you lack leadership in the boomer generation, right? So I'm trying to change that. I lead the First World Army. No, you don't believe that because you've never created a world army before. You created NATO versus SCO nations. Is that smart to create two rival factions on planet Earth that have nuclear weapons that might go to war with each other? No, NATO was not intelligent. Right? The boomers created NATO, and that creates polarity of the planet. Okay, you have to be all inclusive. It's all for one and one for all, right? We have to protect all nations equally. Okay? And that's the problem. You've never done that before. You've never told the United States no. You've never told Israel no. You've never told the bully to behave before. Hey, bully, you're bombing other countries. Stop that. You don't have the maturity as a planet to tell Netanyahu no. You don't have the maturity as a planet in the boomer generation to tell Donald Trump no. He has so much prestige. He's the president of the United States. Well, he was never president in Generation X because we started a new country in Cascadia because the majority wants the smartest to lead, not the most popular, not the richest. Is Donald Trump the smartest? No, he's not the smartest. Donald Trump does not know proper U.S. foreign policy. Donald Trump does not know basic rights yet. Donald Trump does not know the right to life from the Declaration of Independence yet. And that's his job. So he should have never been president in the first place since he doesn't know his job. Right? Donald Trump does not know the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution yet. He wanted to legislate you can't burn the American flag. It shows he doesn't know his job. He doesn't know the First Amendment. He wanted to put people in jail for burning the American flag. That shows he doesn't know his job. He doesn't know the Eighth Amendment. Does your average American? No, they don't know the First Amendment either. Every time they mute you and boot you on a TikTok live, they argue, well, it's a private platform. They lost the boat entirely. They lost the meaning of America entirely when they said that it's a private platform. You can censor the public, right? Freedom of speech went out the window in their world. Now they're working for Israel, censoring Americans, aid state, and who you voted for 12 years after America ended. That's what a phony Fed will say on TikTok for damage control, to cover up that America ended, right? So that's how they do it in the deep state. They fill you with a panel of 8 deep state assets who try to make you believe that the United States still exists after it ended. What do phony feds do on TikTok? Divide and conquer strategy. So they're constantly bringing up the topic of race to divide the public. Because America ended, we better make them fight about race so we can keep control, right? So that's the way that Israel thinks, okay? We better keep Americans fighting so we can maintain control of their country. Red versus blue, Republican versus Democrat. That's why the feds infiltrated hip-hop and gave you red versus blue, Crip versus blood. Does it make any sense now, right? Every time you have red or blue states, is it a Crip state or a blood state? What does the deep state want it to be 12 years after America ended? Who are you voting for in the midterms? The deep state wants to know 12 years after America ended, right? So that's how they do damage control. That's how they work around free speech, right? They don't want you to know the truth that your country ended, right? Because a foreign power controls DC. They want to keep Americans in the dark about that, right? A real American would have started a new country. If DC is compromised by a foreign power, well, you have to take the power back as well. You have to take the U.S. military back since it's the most well-funded. Hey, the old government could roast your new country with arson and call it climate change. Now we know the USI will attack you and your new little country. So you better lead the entire planet and every military with the First World Army. You better have a one nation continent because the bigger nation will bully the little one.